Hello everyone, I am Dan Stapleton.
And I'm Michael Raparez.
And Michael, this is I guess day 5 now of your review.
This game is. And as you can see, I've become a zombie.
This game turned out to be longer than we thought.
Much longer. I'm something like 26 hours in right now, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm nearly done with the story, and there's a lot of side quests that I've been ignoring. So this is a pretty huge game.
But right now, what we're showing off today is the competitive multiplayer side.
Right. This is, as you can see, everything's in black and white. There's nothing wrong with your video player. I'm just playing as a zombie right now. This is how zombies see the world. As you can see, I have Spider-Man-like grappling abilities.
It's really more of a Venom.
Yeah, kind of, since they just
carnage.
come out of my arm and they're gross.
Yep.
And the goal here is to find enemy players and destroy them before they can destroy our nests. So I'll scream to... Oh, there he is.
That was easy.
Get over to him. He has a UV light that can do some pretty heavy damage to me. But so the trick here is to sneak up on him. Oh crap! Which I didn't do just there.
Yeah, looks like you need some new tricks.
Yeah. So the competitive multiplayer here is kind of where you go when the challenge of Dying Light runs out, which is kind of the point I'm at right now. I've gotten really tough and things have gotten relatively easy. And so you start as a level 1 zombie. You have gonna explode him. Yay! You have a bunch of abilities that you can get as you level up by killing people. And the goal here is to prevent them from destroying my nests, which are these things, I guess. It just looks like a zombie in the ground, and it's kind of gross. But
so how does it compare to like Left 4 Dead in terms of like how do you have a bunch of interesting abilities? Are there multiple classes of zombies, or is it just one type of zombie? And is it just one-on-one? How does this work?
There are a bunch of different abilities you can unlock for this zombie. This zombie is known as the Night Hunter, and it's multiplayer only. You know, only other players can play as the Night Hunter, and he just has a lot more agility than pretty much anything else in the game. And he's good at pouncing on dudes like so. Oh, except he hit me with the UV, and now I'm dying, and I need to get out of here. So I haven't played enough of this at this point to really unlock a lot of the abilities and show them off. But it is cool just to see, like, this is the included competitive multiplayer mode. This was originally going to be a pre-order bonus, and then I think after complaints they decided to make it just included with the game.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, I think so.
It does seem
making
like
something like this day 1 DLC is a little bit, I don't know, it's cutting out a really cool part of the game.
And would you say this is, like, if I'm a multiplayer-focused gamer, is this a good enough reason to buy it so far?
This by itself, I think there are plenty of other good reasons to buy it, honestly.
But if I'm a multiplayer-focused guy.
Yeah, if you want to just grief other players, it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, you can only play, as far as I know, as one zombie at a time, griefing up to 4 players at once. So it's kind of tough, especially at first.
And the invasion thing is, you know, you can like go and attack other people as they're playing single player or co-op.
They have to leave their game open, and I mean, you can set it so that you only get invasions at night, or you get invasions anytime, or you don't get invaded at all. And I don't know.
But it's kind of like Dark Souls or Watch Dogs that way.
Yeah. So, and when that happens, you can see the counters up at the top. Either he destroys 5 of my nests, or I kill him 10 times. Yep. Obviously, that's a bit easier to accomplish quickly when you've got multiple players. Oh, come on.
But there's only ever one zombie?
Yes.
Up to 4 players.
Well, I mean, there's other zombies, but there's only one that's controlled by a human.
Right.
So, which would be more fun for me, I guess, if I were more powerful. But... really easy to kill with the UV at this stage.
But what's the best part about playing as a zombie right now?
Really, it's just the unlimited grappling and the ability to get around the environment very quickly, to sneak up on your opponents. So it's kind of difficult to tell which way they're facing a lot of the time. And if they're facing toward you, then they can kill you quickly. So it's really just it's a matter of stealth, but it's kind of more organic stealth. You don't get the same cones of vision that you do in single player at night, like when you're trying to evade the volatile zombies. And actually, looking at the radar, I can see which way he's facing right now.
And how are you adapting to the controls for the zombies? Because I know you had some issues using the shoulder buttons to jump on as humans.
Well, you know, after close to 30 hours, I've gotten pretty used to using R1 to jump around. Okay. And it's the same thing. R1 jumps, L1 extends the tendril so I can grapple and hopefully get away pretty quickly here. Yeah, there is a grappling hook in the single-player game that you can unlock, but unlike this one, you're limited to like 2 uses and then has to recharge. So you can't just Spider-Man your way through the city as a human.
But it behaves in a similar way?
Yeah, it behaves exactly the same, except that, you know, it doesn't come out of your arm in gross ways.
Right.
And as you can see, I can howl to show me where he is. And I think that might also clue him into my position, so I need to get away from here.
Probably that you're fairly close, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole, you know, hunter-hunted dynamic is you know, creates some really interesting gameplay scenarios for a lot of... Oh,
got him.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, and, you know, we see this in Left 4 Dead, we see it in Evolve, see it in Watch Dogs. It creates some really interesting asymmetric gameplay because, you know, your goals are completely different. Not necessarily just kill the other guy, and how you get around is often different.
It would be nice if there were more of a Left 4 Dead style gameplay thing where you could be invaded by multiple zombies, but, you know, for what's included, this is pretty cool. But, I mean, it's more, again, more of a co-op game than just a multiplayer game in general. And the co-op options are pretty robust. In that, you know, you get 4 players in, you're playing through the entire story co-op, and then you get invaded and you get to kill zombies like he's about to do to me here.
So we should point out that you have had persistent issues with actually finding randomly match-made games. Like this is you know, playing with somebody we know, but if you're trying to play you know, with randoms.
Yeah, there's a quick join option that has not worked for me at all, whether with you know, the zombie multiplayer or the regular co-op. And then you can find games, although it's kind of dicey. Sometimes you'll have luck, sometimes you won't. But once I get a game going, it's pretty consistently stable. Like I haven't had any trouble staying in a game, which is nice. It's just getting them started that's a pain.
Right. That can be awkward for a game like this where, like, you want to have like 1 zombie versus 4 humans, unless you have 4 friends that are playing together. It's going to be hard to link up with the random group of 4 strangers to attack. Yeah,
it's also worth noting that it's possible to just, you know, leave your game open. Like I've been playing publicly visible, and you know, nobody's joined my game, nobody's invaded it.
Nobody.
Yeah. So I think, you know, if people are playing online right now, they're probably playing with their friends, or they're just, you know, going through the manual matchmaking, trying to find games with 1 or 2 people like I've been doing.
Right. That's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's something about, you know, matchmaking and multiplayer that isn't easy.
Yeah.
Seems like that might be a hard thing to do reliably.
Oh, got him. Yay. So yeah, I mean, but otherwise, this is a lot of fun. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens when I actually unlock some cool abilities. Maybe I'll die less easily. Maybe I'll have some more attacks that I can splatter humans with.
That will be you know, your project this weekend, and we're planning to get the full review will be done on Monday by end of day, we hope, is the plan.
Yeah. Probably sometime in the morning, if we're being optimistic. All right, so should we switch over to some of the single player?
Yeah, you've promised me a display of new single player abilities.
May the best man win.
Heretofore unseen.
Oh, got him.
So much for his face.
Yeah.
All right.
Quit out of this. Okay. We're back in the single player, as you can tell by the colors. in the environment,
And
and
the electrified sword.
yeah, I kind of want to show people some of the stuff you can do late in the game. So I have this cool sword. I can just I can slice zombies to ribbons now, and if you've seen me bumbling around in the first couple days, this is a pretty big contrast to awkwardly hitting zombies with a pipe. I also have a cool grappling hook.
So wait, is that sword both a flamethrower and an
Yes,
electrocuted?
this is a blueprint you get called the Angel Sword, and this was a sacrificial sword that I found in a closet somewhere, and it attaches both a flamethrower and electricity. So these guys run at me, and I can just, hey, you come here, slow motion,
It's the
chop
old
them in half.
slice burn shock.
Yeah, you can also slice people in half vertically.
Nice, nice.
Oh, I can't believe. No, I didn't do it.
You got him. You got him all right. He's dead.
He's dead. That's important.
Lots of dismemberment.
Yep.
As we've
Yep.
come to expect
That's a
from
lot
this
of what
game.
makes this game fun, and of
There
course,
you
I can still sort of just vault over enemies and get rid of them instantly when they grab me.
Huh.
So yeah, this is Old Town right here. This is the second half of the game. You spend most of the game in the slums. This is a smaller map, but it's a lot prettier with a lot more opportunities for vertical exploration. You can see some of the buildings are bigger than what you could climb in the slums. And we're going to show you the coolest way to climb them right now, which is with this grappling hook.
Whee. It is very Spider-Man, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So as I said earlier, this is limited to 2 uses, and you can see in the lower left, it's slowly refilling. And oh, I shouldn't have done that. But I'm tougher now. I can absorb falls like that, and I've got a ton of first aid kits that I can make at any time.
So here's a question for you: why do all the recent Spider-Man games suck if they can do this?
I don't know. Just I have to guess that they are being rushed out to coincide with the movies, like most licensed games.
But you would think eventually. Anyway, neither here nor there. But you're saying that the story has held up.
It has held up. It's much more interesting than Dead Island. As you know, this is made by Techland, the creators of Dead Island, and in a lot of ways, this is a Dead Island game, but just with all of the mechanics and art and story dramatically improved. And
more Dead, less Island.
yes, yeah, and there are a lot of really interesting characters to get attached to, and then mourn when they die. Because this is a zombie game, and there aren't going to be a lot of survivors at the end.
I just started like the early game. I was impressed by the quality of the voice acting and the character writing and everything. It's then again kind of no offense to Techland, but like I didn't really expect that from Techland.
Well, they've produced a lot of iffy games. They made Call of Juarez, The Cartel, but then they also made Call of Juarez Gunslinger, yeah, which is fantastic, and Bound in Blood, which is also fantastic. And the original Dead Islands have their charms, but this has a lot more charms, I think.
But how have the objectives, the variety in objectives held up? Because I know, like, in open world games, like, oftentimes you're doing the same thing over and over and over and
yeah,
over.
there's still a lot of fetch quests. Let me show you a better way to get down here if I can. There's still a lot of fetch quests. It's like, hey, go to this area and scour this highlighted area for, paint cans or something dumb like that. But then there's also a lot of, go talk to this guy, and then he'll have some other quest for you before he'll stop bothering the people who gave you the original quest, and then you go do that, and there's a whole chain of events that kind of revolve around their own little storylines. And that's actually really cool. There's that's where you'll meet a lot of the interesting characters, is just through these side quests. Like, I just had one where I had to find this weaponsmith, so he'd make cool guns for me, and then that's another thing. I have guns now. I should probably show one of those off.
Guns are good.
Yep. I'll zoom in by clicking the right stick, which is a little awkward for those of us used to Call of Duty controls. But anyway, this gunsmith, I had to help him because he was stuck watching a bunch of kids and wearing a wizard hat and telling them, like, oh no, the town's been overcome by dark magic. You just need to stay here where it's safe. And so, yeah, there's like a whole chain of events that has its own sad storyline. And just being able to discover that, and it not being part of what I had to do at all, it was really cool. And the game's full of moments like that. It's just a very long but strangely satisfying experience so far.
Yeah, and again, you're almost 30 hours deep into this game.
And I mean, a lot of that has been spent on playing through side quests, but even so, I've been following the main story for a lot of that. I'm only 75% of the way through, so there's quite a lot of meat there as well.
And I know early on you were a little bit iffy on the combat, but it seems like you've gotten the hang of it.
It's improved quite a bit.
That was well played.
I love doing that. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities. Like I'm going to talk about in the written companion to this that at this point, like, zombies don't pose much of a threat. And so, where's the fun if a lot of the challenge is gone? Well, it's in doing stuff like this. It's in letting them surround you and tearing them to pieces and hopefully not dying, because I'm going to show off something else and eat in a second here. Let's get up high somewhere. So this is one of my favorite tricks for messing with hordes of zombies. You see, let me pick the firecrackers here. It's, inventory management is always fun to watch.
Yeah, how is the inventory in this? Is it decent to use?
Yeah, you've got these two radial menus. This one is for regular weapons, and this one is for support items like grappling hooks, firecrackers, stuff like that. Firecrackers work like this. You throw one, and then all the zombies will be drawn to it, and they'll just sort of crowd around and stare at it. And while they're doing that, you can take a Molotov cocktail and just sort of burn them en masse. And then you throw another firecracker into the flames, and you'll draw more zombies over to it. And it's just a fun way to rack up a lot of kills in a hurry if you're feeling cheap and sadistic. Look at that. They're so dumb.
You do get a fair number of zombies on screen at once in this, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And it's even more impressive, from a height. But there is a moment late in the game where you just sort of are presented with a hallway that's crammed full of zombies, and you have to figure out how to get past them or through them. And it's kind of cool. I ended up using tactics a lot like this one. And I've got throwing stars too, for what that's
because
worth.
Why not?
Yeah. And if I'm feeling, land on the car. If I'm feeling really brave, I can chop them up, but I can also throw my weapons, which is a little problematic because then you have to retrieve them, and if you die while they're out, you might not get them back.
Huh.
But there it is. Oh. Gotta run away here. Just because they don't present much of a challenge doesn't mean they can't kill me.
If you get cocky.
Exactly. You don't want to get cocky.
Yeah, it reminds me of Dead Rising a little bit. Like the zombies in Dead Rising 3 are not a challenge individually, but then you get cocky and get wade into the middle with a weapon, and the weapon breaks, and then you're in trouble. Yeah.
That's how you die. And weapons do break. There are a bunch of upgrades I've been able to leverage to make them not break quite so quickly. You can improve their durability, and there's also a perk you can unlock that lets you like, every weapon has a certain number of repairs that you can perform on it before it's broken forever. So, like you can see in the lower right, this machete I have has 5 repairs before it's broken forever, and it has a little energy gauge to the right of that on its weapon icon. And but this perk I have makes it there's always like a chance that it won't affect the repair status. So you can keep some of these things forever. More or less. Oh, and I died. I got cocky. That's what happens when you get cocky.
All right. Well, thanks for the. This is probably going to be the final update before the
before the real review,
which again will be on Monday.
Yes.
But right now, if somebody says they want to buy this game, you're not going to tell them they shouldn't?
No, I would recommend it at this point. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think it's really well crafted. There are a few problems I've run into. Like one major bug so far, and
what was that?
I was trying to throw the grappling hook while also jumping into a body of water, and it went out like right as I hit the water, and then I was just frozen with the throwing animation underwater. And I could move, but only stare in one direction. I couldn't turn, and the rope was unraveling the entire time.
Right.
So yeah, not.
Did you have to restart, or how'd you get out of that?
I just let myself die.
Yeah.
And that's another nice thing is that when you die, it doesn't reset your progress. So all the zombies you've killed stay killed. If you lost a weapon somewhere, if you can find your way back to it, then you can probably retrieve it. It's useful, like if you're facing down huge odds, like you've got a bunch of thugs with guns, and you kill 2 or 3 of them, and then they kill you and you respawn, then you only have to deal with the remainder.
All right.
And you don't have to find the same items again if you're on a fetch quest.
That's like having to repeat things is probably the worst death penalty in gaming.
Yeah, that's no fun.
All right. Well, we'll see you back on Monday.
All right. Thanks for watching.
For more things on Dying Light, we've got some pretty good wiki stuff up at this point, so be sure to check that out. But for all things Dying Light, keep it on IGN. Don't get cocky.